glad to have you back. Like we earlier said, we're going to be discussing harnessing tech opportunities to create jobs and bridge poverty gaps in Nigeria. Today I have with me our guest in the studio, Mr. Hillary Onyejekwe. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. All right, we've noticed that in Nigeria since the beginning of tech and actors in tech industry, we've had a lot of opportunities brewing. Can you say that we've taken advantage of these opportunities that are available to us in Nigeria, and how much good has it done to us in Nigeria?
Well, so far so good. I think it has done us a lot of good, and we have not harnessed the full potential of tech in Nigeria. Considering our manpower, which is as a country, Nigeria, we have not harnessed tech like other counterparts like Bangladesh and Pakistan, India, and the rest of them. So I really think that yes, it has come to stay in Nigeria, but harnessing the full potential, not yet. We are still kind of behind, if I may say, in my own opinion.
So what do you think Nigeria can do to harness these potentials?
Okay, what Nigeria can do to harness the potential, the good thing is that we already have human resources. We have enough of population, even despite the Japa revolution, we still have enough of people within Nigeria. So what I think we should do is we should invest more in our people. I know the government is doing their own part in the private sector, but it's not something that should be left for the private sector. It's not something the private sector should leave for the government. It's supposed to be a collaboration. I know so far, like last week, there was this tech event training by the National Communication Commission nationwide. And yes, it's just a start. But after that, what next? Because the truth is, people need to be carried, especially those who are not very conversant with this tech thing. So I think the government needs to do more, taking advantage of the human resources we already have in the country.
So are you saying that the government is not doing enough? Because looking at the act that was given, the Nigerian Startup Act, I think that's a good start for tech in Nigeria. Looking at that act and then looking at different training opportunities that the government has put in place, especially in collaboration with NIDA, where they train students on or youth in Nigeria on tech innovations. What do you say about that?
Okay, when you say something about the training with NIDA and the rest of them, there are so many factors that surround this thing. Most of these trainings are online, right? We as Nigerians, we just started this remote training and remote work just immediately before the lockdown because of the COVID-19. So people are not really yet, full-time conversant with that, apart from those that are working. Now, I would say these trainings, when NIDA holds the training, I'm not saying it's not good. It's a very laudable opportunity in which I share to some of my students too. But what I'm saying is, now, what is the cost of data in Nigeria? How stable is electricity? Because when you're talking about installing solar panel in your house, you know how much you're talking about. What's the cost of running generator? Now, when you want to, this training is free from NIDA, but you need to buy data. So in my own opinion, I would say the government has to do more. It has to do more in terms of making sure that at least power stability is a basic amenity. It's something we shouldn't be, clamoring for. It shouldn't be a topic of discussion in westernized countries, in other countries. So in as much as they are doing so well, I'll just say, yes, they are trying, but we just need more push from the government.
Okay. So has the tech industry attracted investors to Nigeria, and how much impact do you think they've made on our economy at large?
The tech industry obviously is growing because so far so good. You see so many tech companies springing up every single day. The one I'm familiar with is CC Hub in Yaba, Lagos. So many. That's why I said something about the talent in Nigeria. The population is huge. The talent is huge. So many things are coming up. And in terms of that, I would say that when it comes to tech, it has done so many good, because now you can see so many freelancers in Nigeria doing jobs on Fiverr, freelancer.com, Upwork, in Nigeria, working and earning in foreign currency. Without tech, you have to go to the office where you need to work. But now, so many people are working from home. So you are here. Like currently, I have some clients abroad I work for, you know, things like that. So it has come to stay, and it's really doing us good. You know, the only thing is just that we need more people into tech, because compared to places like India, you see these guys on Fiverr. Fiverr is a marketplace where you buy and sell skills, digital services. When you go there, you see something I would charge for $50. You see an Indian guy is ready to do it for $5, and everybody knows that if I'm the one that is going to buy, I'll still have to buy from the person in $5, the same service. So I really think if we have the basic amenities, it will really go a long way for us.
So what about the trust issues Nigerians encounter with these foreign investors and people they work with outside the country? How do we fix this? What do we do about it?
Well, these foreign investors, okay, they are in two ways. The foreign investors that come, you know, like the angel investors and the rest of them, they come to Nigeria to support startups or to have their own startups like Pampe. Yeah, that's it. But I think there's this stigma that goes with the fact that you are a Nigerian. I remember the first time I traveled abroad, you know, I was at the airport and just walking up to the custom guy and presenting that green, as long as the booklet is green. The way he's looking at other people is not the way he's looking at you. So you are already a suspect just because you are Nigerian. And that goes a long way, up to the extent that I know so many times I've been denied some contracts online just because where are you from? You feel Nigeria there. It gets worse when you are a Nigerian and you are staying in Nigeria. So they even give a little more bit of trust to somebody. You are a Nigerian but you stay in the US or in the UK. So that stigma is just there, and I think we just have to make the world know that we are not all bad. You know, we are not all bad. So I think so far, the investors that are coming still knows it's business, you know, it's business. So having an open mind that you're coming to work with somebody until that particular person gives you a reason to doubt. All Nigerians are not bad, and all Americans or UK people, all of them are not sense. So that's just the way it is.
So how do we mitigate this problem? How do we, is it a government thing to solve, or a individual thing to solve, or the tech industry at large?
It cuts across every socio-political landscape of the country, because it's the way other people see us. Just like somebody is from a family that is known with one bad character or the other, even when the person is different, you have to put extra effort to convince other people that you are not like the other people, you know. So I think it's a work of everybody, both the government. I remember there was a time, I think it's Dora Akunyili or something, this new Nigeria thing, they were trying to like rebrand Nigeria. I think I've forgotten who was the minister then. So that's the part of the government trying to rebrand the country. And there are so many other policies that other countries will look at and see that you have this policy in place for your citizens, and they will take you serious. Okay?
So what policies are you looking at? Okay,
like I'm looking at some of these policies that will, let's just start from the basics. Some are complaining, some are arguing that the cost of data is okay in Nigeria. Is just way too much for an average Nigerian, considering our economic situation today. Now, aside that, the power problem is still there. It's getting worse every day. So some of the policies they need to put in place is like, there are countries like South Korea where there's free internet, especially in public places. So our government have enough money to put all these things in place, if they will not give us excuse that one animal or the other swallow something. So that's it.
But these measures that you've just listed, there are issues that affect an individual who is on that tech. I want to hear your opinion on what we do to people who scam others. Now I want to use the word scam, who scam foreign people and then thereby chase investors out of Nigeria, some sorts. What do you think we can do about this?
Okay, when it comes to that scamming, I believe it's not only existent in the tech industry.
But it's profound in tech.
It's louder because that's where the attention moves to. People have been scammed when they went to buy cars. People have been scammed in terms of contracts and job opportunities, things like that. So in terms of tech, that scamming thing, I believe that especially the security agencies, need to do more. In countries like the United Arab Emirates, they have all the network providers, they have a way of, you need to use VPN before you can access a particular site. Now, regulating all these things doesn't just stop. Somebody being a scammer doesn't mean that you just I'm a guy, I have dreadlocks, I wear earrings, So now, what I think the government can do is to create more job opportunities. When you go to somewhere like Uganda, you can register a startup in 1 week. You can register a startup in 1 week and still get loan from the government to start something. Assuming what I have is just a bright idea, beautiful, and I say, okay, I walk up to the government, I will be able to register startup. Within a month, you are up. So with that loan I get, I can employ 1 or 2. But here in Nigeria, we have Bank of Industry, we have Bank of Agriculture. I really don't know if I've ever seen anybody that knows somebody that has gotten a loan to implement his or her idea. So these are some of the policies that needs to be working. It's not just Bank of Industry for the name. Are people able to access the facilities? Things like that. So I really think this scamming thing has to do with our economic situation. That is why people are I'm not trying to side people that are doing that, but I'm just saying that if we put more effort, so many people will be lifted out, will be given opportunities, more opportunities to. The time you use in tricking somebody into business and receiving scam money is the same time you can invest in learning UX, UI design, you can learn AI, and even build your own personal product that will pay you forever and ever.
Very well. Okay, so your final words. What advice do you have for new tech people who want to come into the tech industry?
The advice I have is just the usual one. When you're coming into tech, you just see it as a career. It's not where I'm just coming to cash out today. Because some people will be like, oh, I want to learn web design, I want to learn UX UI design for the love of it. You just want to learn it because you hear that people that do web design work from home. They make money from it. So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's something that when somebody is paying you, the pay is good, but they are paying you for your skills. You must know how to do that thing. And just like every other skills, carpentry, mechanic, you have to know what you're doing. Okay, so my advice is when you say you want to go into tech is very wide. Digital marketing, cloud computing, UX design, machine learning and AI, so many of them. When you want to go into it, just go, let it be something you have passion for. Because this is divided into segments. So a tech person can be a UX UI designer, has nothing to do with code. And another person is a back-end developer who has everything to do with code. So when you're going into tech, I believe the person should seek counseling first of all. Which one is best for me? If you are the type that you don't like thinking, you don't like challenge, okay, let me not say you don't like thinking. Someone that is not good at thinking very fast, that person is going to have an issue in terms of programming. So the advice is just seek counseling first. Know where you belong, what suits you. Am I the type that can sit on a computer for the next 5 hours? Am I the type that easily get bored? Because programming is not something that is interesting, if you are not the kind of person. So my advice is anybody that wants to go into it should just take it full, because yes, it's some years down the line, but anybody that joins now is still early.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hillary, for joining us on the show. And you've heard from the digital marketer himself. If you want to go into anything tech, You need to get yourself ready, have your passion, and be ready to learn. Now quickly we'll take our top 5 agric tech for the week.